or at home. Pinned My Sunday. All new episodes start at 8, 7 Central tomorrow on Fox.
Tonight, using the internet to out businesses suspected of hiring illegal aliens. Why some say posting on this website is just like calling 911. Plus, friends and family gather at a memorial service for a young woman killed in a devastating crash.
She was just a really happy girl, and it's just devastating.
How people say they'll remember Quinn. But first, getting ready for a big storm on a busy travel weekend.
You want to avoid the black ice, that's for sure.
Team coverage of your first live local weather, first on Fox. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Hillary Hutchison.
And I'm Kevin Kawari. First on Fox tonight, if you're planning on hitting the road tomorrow, you may be in for a long trip. Rain, wind, and even snow could be headed our way. Today, traffic moves smoothly in most places as some Thanksgiving travelers headed home early to avoid what could be a dangerous drive tomorrow. We have first live local weather team coverage. Meteorologist Drew Jackson will have the latest details about the incoming storm. But we begin with KPTV's David Freitas live in Troutdale tonight.
Yeah, here in the gorge, they have their ice scrapers all ready to go for tomorrow's storm. And all night long, there's been a steady stream of cars after the street lined up for gasoline. It's been a lot of people coming through trying to get ahead of the storm. Tonight, drivers gas up and head back to the highway. For some, a trip a little earlier than planned.
We shortened our stay in Walla Walla with our friends because we heard the weather and we said, we're going through the Columbia River Gorge now.
Tom and Rhonda Walker have a camper shell they know can cause extra headaches. And even though they're from Colorado, once they heard about the possibility of snow in the gorge, they headed west.
Ice in the gorge can be really bad and nobody can drive in it. So that's, even with chains, it's touchy.
Even the most experienced drivers out there know a forecast of snow and ice in the gorge is a dangerous possibility and often means miles out of the way.
Because of the ice and the snow, and it gets slick, and you just have to hang on and do the best you can. So when you have to go around, you go around.
Traffic westbound on 84 was heavy tonight, but speed stayed quick. Tomorrow night, that might not be the case. The metro area will get more heavy rain, and tomorrow morning, the typical east winds will chill the gorge, something drivers would rather not deal with.
The biggest obstacle we found was the wind coming down. Yeah, the roads were good and clear, but the wind was challenging.
And with Mother Nature once again turning on the faucet, drivers know they'll need patience and possibly a backup plan.
Our friends have had to stay at the Walmart parking lot at Hood River before because they got trapped in there.
Tonight we were talking to the folks at the Flying J store here, and they say they have been busier today than they expected. Possibly, again, those people trying to get ahead of the storm. It's already chilly here in Troutdale. It's about 39 degrees right now, and of course expected to get much colder. Live in Troutdale, David Freitas, the 10 o'clock news.
And again, this storm could really mean headaches for drivers, but great conditions for skiers. You're taking a look right now at live video from Government Camp. Most of Oregon's ski areas are now open and ski conditions should get even better. More snow is expected tomorrow. Today, many skiers kicked off the season at Ski Bowl for opening day.
Looking forward to having a great time. First time out for the 2006 season. So looking forward to it. Good snow, pretty early. Thanksgiving weekend, you can't beat it.
Mount Hood Meadows and Willamette Pass ski area are the only two yet to open. Willamette plans to open Thursday. A washout on Oregon 35, of course, has delayed Mount Hood Meadows from opening. That plans to open next month. So with the storm on the way, when will be the best time for holiday travelers who are headed home? Fox 12 meteorologist Drew Jackson joins us with this answer. Drew?
Yeah, it looks like now actually the best time to leave. This is the calm before the storm. Actually, it looks like we've got a new storm coming in, and it could be a doozy here for much of the northwest. So I want to show you live radar right now because all is quiet for the moment. I'll expand the view, though, and you can see that farther up to the north, Seattle already starting to get into it, and Seattle will be an interesting place weather-wise here in the coming days. Snow is expected to fall up there. But back here locally, we can check out the satellite picture. The clouds just now beginning to increase from the west, and that system to the left of your screen there, that's the one that's headed in our direction. That will cause the weather problems for tomorrow. A lot of cold air behind this next system, the coldest air we've seen so far this year. So there's a high wind warning up for tomorrow along the coast and a winter storm warning in effect for the Cascades. Another round of very heavy snow up there. The real interesting question, though, is how low does the snow level go, and could it be low enough to give us snow in the metro area? Well, I'll have more information, much more information about that coming up a bit later on.
Looking forward to that, Drew. Thanks. Also, stay tuned to Fox 12. Of course, we'll have continuing coverage of our weather in this newscast. Also, we'll have some more on how the weather will affect air travel later in the newscast and tomorrow with all the information you need to know on Good Day Oregon, plus the 5 o'clock news and the 10 o'clock news. And, of course, you can always get the latest on KPTV.com.
An Oregon City fisherman is presumed dead tonight. His boat capsized on the Willamette this morning. 51-year-old Richard Ellis and 3 other men were fishing on the stretch of river between Oak Grove and Gladstone when their boat went under. All of the men but Ellis were rescued a short time later. KPTV's Stephanie Kralovich has the story from News Control.
The 911 call came in this morning from a homeowner on the river who spotted the fishermen in trouble. We're told 3 of them were wearing life jackets. 1 was not. He was last seen swimming toward Rock Island. This video from Air 12 shows the swift current on the stretch of the Willamette north of Gladstone. The water temperature was a chilly 47 degrees when this small aluminum boat overturned around 8:15 a.m.
Hypothermia is going to set in within a matter of, 5 minutes or less. You're not going to make it.
Mike Strait is an avid angler who says the river is an especially dangerous place this time of year.
I feel bad for him. It's way too small of a boat. Condition the river's in right now, the water's moving real fast. There's lots of debris. They just shouldn't be out there.
The Clackamas County Sheriff's Office says the men were preparing to anchor for fishing when their anchor line got caught in the boat's prop, causing it to lose power, take on water, and capsize. River rescuers were able to pull 3 of the fishermen to safety, but a Coast Guard helicopter and search crews were not able to locate the 4th man, 51-year-old Richard Ellis of Oregon City.
There's been a lot of deaths here, and the water's just so cold. I mean, you'd have to be, I don't know. You have to be very careful.
Kim Strait says stories like this one make her concerned about her own husband's safety on the Willamette.
And it just frightens me every time they go out. He's pretty safe, but I still worry. The current, it takes you so fast.
Divers did not participate in the recovery effort this morning because of the swift river conditions. Reporting from News Control tonight, Stephanie Kralovich, the 10 o'clock news.
Gresham police are investigating an assault that sent 1 man to the hospital with critical injuries tonight. Investigators say someone attacked the man after midnight in the area between 190th and 193rd on Yamhill Street. Just after noon today, the 21-year-old came into Gresham urgent care with a head injury. Medics later took him to Emmanuel Hospital, where he's now in critical condition. Authorities have not released his name. If you have any information about this case, call Gresham Police.
8 people are homeless tonight after fire tore through an apartment complex in Tiger. The fire broke out just before 5 o'clock this morning at the Red Hawk Apartments on Southwest 108th Avenue. Firefighters say when they got there, they saw thick flames coming from the last 2 apartments. They quickly called a second alarm. The fire damaged at least 4 apartments in all. People forced out of their homes say it's a tough loss, especially during the holidays, but they're glad everyone got out safely.
There was a guy that came over and helped us, and he was throwing rocks from the road at our window to try to get up. So I don't know if my girlfriend heard the rocks or if she heard the crackling of the wood burning, but that's how we got out.
Investigators say the fire began on the outside of the building, but they're still not sure what sparked it. The Red Cross is helping the people who lost their homes.
Family and friends, as well as hundreds of members of the Vietnamese community, sorority sisters, and others all said their final farewells today to Quinn Trong. The 20-year-old Oregon State student was killed this past week in a car crash in southern Oregon. KPTV's Marilyn Deutsch reports tonight from the newsroom.
With rogue monks and burning incense, the American-born daughter of Southeast Asian refugees was remembered today in a Buddhist ceremony.
Tôi muốn xin phép quý vị để nói với cháu Quyên vài lời.
And remembered in 2 languages, the language of her parents and her own native tongue.
Many thanks.
2 days after Thanksgiving, Quinn's grandfather says thank you for a young woman's 20 years, and thanks to those who cared enough to come today.
I love Quinn with all my heart.
Quinn Trong died last Sunday on her way back to Corvallis from a frat party at Diamond Lake. The Jeep Wrangler she and fellow OSU student Jeremy Schmidt were driving in veered off a 70-foot embankment on Highway 138 into the chilly, swollen, fast-moving Umpqua River.
So suddenly, we We feel sorry about that a lot because she's so young.
Young and, it would seem, full of promise. 3 times president of her class at Tigard High School. A Delta Gamma sorority sister at OSU. And a girl whose smile could brighten up your day even before she had a full set of teeth. A young woman whose compassion showed through the camera lens and then did not end when no one was looking.
She makes sure everybody okay, and she check it out, all of us. And that's the good thing about her. That's how I remember.
She always was like sweetheart and honey. Like, she was just a really happy girl. And it's just devastating. She was a really sweet girl.
Quinn Trong's parents emigrated separately from Vietnam in the 1980s. They met here in America in an English class at PCC. Quinn was their oldest child. In the Fox 12 newsroom, Marilyn Deutsch, the 10 o'clock news.
And Jeremy Schmidt of Medford was likely driving the car, police say, when it crashed. Rescuers have not found his body yet. They do plan to resume their search for him when the weather clears up next week.
A little boy who disappeared at Crater Lake last month is remembered tonight for his big smile and love of the outdoors. Sammy Belkey was sightseeing with his father on the north side of the lake when he suddenly ran off into the woods. Searchers combed the area for days but found no sign of Sammy. Today, family and friends gathered at First Presbyterian Church in Portland to honor him.
And the gift that warms my soul is the life that Ken and I brought into this world. His name is Samuel.
The family says crews will begin searching for Sammy's body once again after the snow melts.
The 10 o'clock news is just getting started.
A bachelor party has a deadly ending. Why police shot 50 rounds at a car and killed a groom on the day of his wedding.
Keeping the troops safe in the war on terror. How extra protection on these Humvees could help more military members make it home.
A family is looking for your help to bring home a missing statue. Why the thieves may have needed to do some heavy lifting to pull off this heist.
Planning to have that leftover turkey again for dinner tomorrow night? The tips you'll want to hear before you reheat the bird.
And an uninvited guest comes crashing through one home this Thanksgiving weekend.
He hit me in the chest, knocked me down, and then went on over me.
Why a family is counting its blessings after a deer tramples through their house.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news, first live local. For a complete look at your weekend morning news, plus your first live local weather forecast, turn to Good Day Oregon Sunday starting at 6.
It might mean less stops at the pump, or that you've got better things to spend your money on than gas. Maybe it's just doing your part, or being a part of something bigger. Everyone has their reason. Maybe that's why Toyota has more hybrids on the road than anyone else. Hybrid Synergy Drive from Toyota.
We are the class of 2020. I'm the class of 2022.
I am 2014.
College is closer than you think. That's why the Oregon College Savings Plan offers tax-free growth, tax-free withdrawals for qualified expenses, and an Oregon State tax deduction every year.
If your plans include college, we have a plan for you.
I'm the class of 2010.
Invest in their future with a plan that works for you. The Oregon College Savings Plan.
A robber holds up a local market, but the clerk won't back down. Hear what he told the man who threatened to shoot on the 10 o'clock news. First, live local.
Giving a gift from Jared can cause quite a stir.
Hey, everyone! He went to Jared.
He went to Jared.
He went to Jared.
He went to Jared.
You went to Jared.
Not every jewelry store gets this reaction, but nothing else is Jared. Jared's selection is truly extensive, built piece by piece to offer distinctiveness, attractive pricing, and style.
I went to Jared.
That's Jared, the one and only Galleria of jewelry.
He went to Jared.
Subway Restaurants has 8 delicious sandwiches with 6 grams of fat or less, all made on freshly baked bread. Now this BK Stackers has 54 grams of fat. 54 grams. That's more fat than in all 8 of these Subway sandwiches combined. Burger King's crowning achievement. So where am I going with all this? I'm going to Subway Restaurants. Subway. Eat fresh.
Get Can you pick the NFL winners each week? Log on to kptv.com/contests and play Toyota's Football Frenzy. You could win a 50-inch plasma TV. Toyota's Football Frenzy on kptv.com.
Homer's landed the sweetest job in town.
You kids like ice cream?
I'm a unitard!
The Simpsons.
Sunday at 8 on Fox 12 Oregon.
A bold clerk kept him from getting away with the loot, but tonight, Fox 12's Most Wanted is still on the run after he tried to rob a convenience store. Hillsborough police say it happened around 6:30 this morning at the Cost Less Food store on TV Highway. Authorities say the man demanded a carton of cigarettes from the clerk and then showed a gun. The clerk reportedly refused to give him the cigarettes several times, so the man left. Witnesses say he's driving a 1985 Toyota pickup. Call Hillsborough Police if you have any information. Police are trying to track down the shooter who sprayed a house with gunfire in Northeast Portland. It happened at about 3:45 this morning on Northeast Alton Street. No one was hurt, but the front of the house, including at least one window, is pockmarked with bullet holes. A car sitting out front was also hit. A bullet went through one boy's bedroom, and at first, he didn't even think he was hearing gunshots.
There's some some firecracker noise or whatever. I didn't think it was a gun or something, and I just heard a window shield, so I walked out the thing, and then this bullet just came in my room.
Police did not find any suspects when they got there. If you have any information, call Portland Police.
A Marine killed in the fight for Iraq was honored in Vancouver today. 21-year-old Marine Corporal Michael Scholl was killed in Iraq November 14th when his armored vehicle was hit by a roadside bomb. Scholl had been stationed in Hawaii. His widow and baby daughter, who was born last month, live in Vancouver. A motorcycle honor guard escorted Scholl's body from the Portland International Airport to a Vancouver cemetery on Wednesday.
In the war on terror tonight, British Royal Marines battled it out with Taliban fighters in southern Afghanistan today. It's the second time in a week these Marines have come under rocket, mortar, and sniper fire. During the 2-hour battle, the Royal Marines fired back after the Taliban's small arms fire. The Marines used helicopters to circle and fire, and even as the Marines started to withdraw, the Taliban continued to fire, experts say. The Taliban has a huge force in the region. The Marines are working on reconstruction in the area. And as the violence in the Middle East continues, the U.S. military is beefing up efforts to give troops more protection. More armor is on the way for troops on two fronts, Iraq and Afghanistan. In fact, many Humvees have already been reinforced this week with extra layers of metal on the doors and turrets. They say it's necessary since roadside bombs have become increasingly more sophisticated and can easily tear through Humvees that are just 2 years old.
Looks like weather is not the only obstacle for your holiday drive home. Gas prices are up again. Let's get a price check now from our Fox 12 Pump Patrol. Oregon gas prices are the second highest in the nation. The state's average for a gallon of regular was $2.58 today. The national average was $2.24. The cheapest gas we could find in the area was $2.42. That was at Costco in Northeast Portland on Airport Way in Sandy, Leathers in Northeast Portland, and Fred Meyer in Scappoose. To find cheap gas in your area, you can check our website, kptv.com. Just click on Pump Patrol.
In news from around the Northwest tonight, a group of Muslims protested at SeaTac Airport today. The demonstration comes after 6 Muslim clerics were kicked off a U.S. Airways flight in Minneapolis this week. The group prayed across from the U.S. Airways ticket counter. Organizers hope similar protests will continue at airports nationwide. The Coos Bay community is remembering 3 firefighters who died on the job 4 years ago. It happened when an auto parts store caught fire and the roof collapsed. The firefighters had been on top of the roof when it caved in. A memorial has now been placed at the town's city hall. It features life-size statues of the 3 men as well as 11 trees representing the number of children the fathers left behind. 2 Washington men died when a snow-covered tree fell on their truck. One of the victims is a longtime deacon at a church in Tacoma. Tonight, his parishioners gathered for a memorial ceremony. The freak accident happened on Interstate 90. The deacon was driving with 3 passengers, including his own 19-year-old son. They'd been on a hunting trip. The other victim is a 22-year-old man.
You're stuck with the mystery of what happened and the mystery of their death of a man in his prime and a younger man on a holiday weekend.
The deacon's son and a 3rd passenger escaped the wreckage by crawling out a window.
A local rehab facility isn't letting thieves get in the way of its holiday fundraiser. Someone stole the Teen Challenge trailer from a Kmart parking lot in Northeast Portland. It contained supplies for the Christmas tree lot, which opened last Friday. Despite the theft, members of the organization say they feel fortunate. They've managed to keep the lot open with generous support from the community.
You know, I'm just reminded that there are still a lot of good people. There are still a lot of good people that want to help, that want to touch and change lives, want to help other people. And that's great to see that.
It's good to hear. Students say if the thief returns the trailer, they'll offer forgiveness. A family in Northeast Portland is asking for your help tonight finding a treasured statue. Take a look. It was a 6-foot original wood carving of a bear on his hind legs. Police say it's likely worth more than $1,000. The Ellenbergs named the big guy Bear and say he brought them a lot of great memories over the 10 years they had him. And they say Bear brought a lot of smiles to people walking by, especially children.
He was just gorgeous, you know, and to come home and find him gone, it was very devastating. I'm not kidding. No questions asked. Just please bring him back or let us know where we can get him.
Looks like someone recently went onto the Ellenbergs' property and stole Bear while the family was on vacation. The statue was actually bolted to a tree stump near the front yard. The family says a few months ago, someone also took their flagpole.
And I spoke with them, and they just say they're not going to press charges. They just want it back. So if anyone sees it, please give it back.
Let's hope for the best.
In other news now, it may not be strict security measures at the airport that could have you pulling your hair out this weekend.
We'll tell you how Mother Nature could make it tough for you or your loved ones to get home.
Also, how delicious is that after Thanksgiving sandwich? Yum. But that bacteria that could be breeding on those leftovers could make you sick. How to polish off the bird safely, coming up.
Real nice to see that sunshine here this afternoon, but now the clouds are thickening up again. It's 40 degrees at the airport. The east wind picking up as well. The east wind, often the extreme wind this time of year. We'll have a look outside at the Christmas tree, Pioneer Courthouse Square. Could that Christmas tree be coated in white sometime soon? The forecast still to come.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
'Tis the season for happy Honda days. And what better way to celebrate than to save on your favorite Honda? Like the best overall value Accord, the rugged Ridgeline, the fuel-efficient 8-passenger Pilot. They're all just waiting for you at your Honda dealer. A brand new Honda will definitely put you in the holiday spirit. Happy Honda days. Lease a Honda Accord for $249 a month for well-qualified customers.
You may get cancer, but I doubt you'll get the truth from cigarette companies. They keep saying you can't get hooked on cigarettes, even though many smokers who lose their vocal cords can't quit. I'm Janet Sack. I was a model in cigarette ads, and I convinced many young people to smoke. I hope I can convince you not to.
All day Friday, the hottest buys on the best sports and outdoor gear will be at G.I. Joe's. Be one of the first 200 customers 18 or older when Joe's opens at 6 a.m. and get a free gift card. Your card could be worth $5, $10, $25, or even $500. Joe's will have the good stuff, the best brands on sale. See Joe's ad in Thursday's paper, then save store-wide all day long. Friday, the best place to be is G.I. Joe's. Gifts for their favorite season.
Still tonight, too, makes the Fox 12 final cut. A would-be bride won't have a wedding but a funeral for her groom after a bachelor party turns deadly.
It's a Craigslist ad that has police interested. Is someone really trying to sell a baby?
And a website is getting criticism for exposing employers who hire illegal aliens. That's all coming up in the Fox 12 final cut.
No.
All I dreamed about was coming to America, but no English, no work. I just needed someone to believe in me.
Miss, you learn English like me and get a job at Goodwill over there.
I just needed a chance.
Nissan asks, what's your resolution? More capability, style, power, space. How about saving money during Nissan's National Year-End Sales Event? Save $3,200 on the 2006 Nissan Altima Special Edition. This offer ends soon. Get to your Nissan dealer now and resolve to save.
In our Health Watch tonight, a warning about those Thanksgiving leftovers. Experts say it's best to keep leftovers in shallow containers in the fridge, and they recommend eating it all within 3 or 4 days. So hurry up, I guess. Also, when reheating in the oven, make sure the temperature is at 165 degrees. And if you're going to use a microwave, be careful with your plastics. The FDA warns some plastics have a chemical that when heated at high levels can cause cancer.
The popular supplement folic acid may not help with the risk of breast cancer, but a new study shows it could help the risk of having a heart attack. Researchers say folic acid lowers levels of homocysteine in the blood. They say it's an amino acid that can damage the lining of arteries and cause potentially deadly heart problems. Doctors say the report is also a good reminder that people should get blood tests to check their homocysteine levels and possible risk for heart problems.
Well, yet again this month, the weather's starting to get interesting, and we've got low snow levels coming up in the forecast. But what does a 500-foot snow level mean? I'll have some elevation maps for you, plus the 7-day forecast coming up.
Also, there's an important role at a local hospital that has nothing to do with medicine, a different kind of care that's making a difference for kids with cancer.
Rocking out on the front, but troops getting iPods for Christmas may be using them for something more than just music. We'll explain.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Looking for a great local job? Here are a few Northwest jobs from Fox 12 Oregon, powered by JobDango.com. Brake Team is hiring automotive managers, positions located in Portland. The Children's Clinic is hiring RN LPNs, positions located in Portland. And Database Secure Records Destruction is hiring drivers, positions located in Washington. For details on these local jobs and thousands more, or to advertise your jobs, go to KPTV.com and click on Northwest Jobs at the left side of our homepage.
How fast is your quarter mile?
Oh, 5 minutes 10?
How fast is your internet?
Oh, well, with Comcast, it's way faster than my old DSL.
They have this thing called Power Boost.
Fastest thing I've ever seen. Games, music, videos.
I'm so glad I came back to Comcast.
Comes with free McAfee security.
It's fast and it's safe.
Well, they're making the internet fun again.
I only pay $33 a month for a whole year.
I've never had a service disruption either.
So you can keep on running.
Exactly.
Make this a holiday he'll remember forever with the classic Rolex Submariner from Ben Bridge Jeweler. Elegantly crafted in 18-karat gold and stainless steel and pressure-proof up to 1,000 feet. It's the perfect gift from Ben Bridge.
Your personal jeweler, Ben Bridge.
Kids at a local hospital are getting more than medical treatment. We'll show you a level of care that doesn't involve doctors and nurses on the 10 o'clock news.
There's never been a better time to donate your vehicle to Portland Rescue Mission, because our full-service shop may recondition your car to maximize its donation potential. So help drive away hunger by calling Portland Rescue Mission today at 503-MISSION.
Take a journey to a whole new kind of place and a whole new kind of health care. The OHSU Center for Health and Healing. Discover it now at South Waterfront.
This Thanksgiving,
Show me those flipping feet.
don't miss America's #1 movie.
What you waiting for? You like it, you want it, I got it.
Happy Feet, rated PG.
Drop back anytime.
Now playing in theaters and IMAX.
This segment of the 10 o'clock news is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers.
Push-button automatic doors, one of many intelligent features on the Toyota Sienna. And now get 0% APR financing for 60 months. Toyota, a smart way. to keep moving forward.
When children go to Dornbecker Hospital for cancer treatment, they need more than a cure.
Yeah, kids can also use emotional support and practical advice from people who have faced a similar challenge. KPTV's Jim Hyde reports they can find some of that from the Nick Wilson Charitable Group.
We put in our care kits things that we think will help the families and the child get through transplant a little more comfortably. Blankets to toiletries to hats for their cold heads.
Many of the children here at the Pediatric Oncology Unit at Dornbecker are getting bone marrow transplants and other heroic treatments for their cancers. The bag full of non-medicinal stuff they're offered is an introduction to what the Nick Wilson Charitable Group can do for them.
It's a very stressful, lonely, scary time for families, and we just want to try to make that less scary and stressful for them in any way we can.
Nick Wilson is Jill Metz's son, who died of leukemia here in 2001. Her family's awful experience can be awfully helpful to others.
The kids are amazing. They deal with this in ways that are just unbelievable. And so it's really the families, I think, that suffer.
Dr. Farrell says she and her colleagues are warmly realistic with their young patients, helping them to tolerate the best treatments, medications, and chemotherapy available. In the oncology unit, medical staff, social workers, and volunteers recognize that whole families are affected by their child's hospitalization.
A parent needs to be with their child when they're ill, and what happens to the job, what happens to their income.
Working through the social workers here, the Nick Wilson Foundation offers some payments for housing and support to families in need in the form of gas and telephone cards.
Grief support if that's needed, any number of things. As you can imagine, there's a big unmet financial need for a lot of these families.
He never went to school or anything like that because he was always here, so I was kind of like his companion.
But in the 5 years since her little brother's death, the needs for patients' siblings have not lessened.
You need tons of support from somebody who can take you to soccer practice, to where do I spend the night because my parents are in the hospital.
So Haley, her mom, and supporters of their charitable group also offer practical advice about how families can organize their own support networks.
People are good-hearted and they want to help.
Jill Metz does that in the name of Nick Wilson. In Southwest Portland, Jim Hyde, the 10 o'clock news.
For more information about the Nick Wilson Charitable Group, just go to our website, kptv.com.
Meteorologist Drew Jackson joins us now. Looking forward to tomorrow and one of the busiest travel days of the year. Well, not in this positive way. I mean, fast forwarding to tomorrow. Busiest travel day of the year, one of, and could be ugly.
It's going to be interesting. I was going to say I'm looking forward to Thursday because I think it's going to be the first day this next few coming up where weather will not be a newsmaker. So lots to talk about. Looking forward to Thursday. Between now and then, lots to talk about. We'll start quickly here with the nuts and bolts tonight. Talk about what's going on right now. Live picture outside. All calm, all quiet for the moment, although that east wind's starting to pick up. Live radar not showing much of anything here in the Pacific Northwest, in specific Northwest Oregon. Not having any radar returns at the moment, but sliding a little farther north here. Seattle starting to get into it, and a few light showers offshore. Quick look at the temperatures right now. Portland at 40, Salem's at 40, Astoria 42. So obviously too warm to snow at this moment, and I think it'll be that way throughout the night tonight. Redmond's down to 30, Burns at 20, Baker City, you're at 23, and Hermiston at 31 degrees. All right, the next weather maker offshore, right in here. Center of low pressure right about there, and it looks like it's going to track just like that. So north of most of Oregon, Northwest Oregon especially, and that means we're going to get a south wind up into that low pressure. That's important because two things. It's going to cause some high winds to really pick up along the coast. Could see some gusts to 65 miles an hour. That's why high wind warning is in effect. And I bet we could get some southerly wind gusts up into the 35, maybe even 40 mile an hour range tomorrow. There'll be an east wind through the gorge as well. Should this low move farther south, and a couple days ago looked like that was a possibility, we get more of an easterly flow towards that low, and that would pull cold air farther out of the gorge. That would be a better snow setup for us. As it turns out, that doesn't look to be the case for tomorrow and tomorrow night. But a lot of heavy snow for the Cascades here coming up. You start getting into these pink and purple colors here. We're talking 20, 25 inches by 7 o'clock Monday evening. So certainly a huge snowmaker for those of you traveling tomorrow. It's going to be rough over the passes. Now let's time it out here in the rain and snow forecast. Overnight, there could be some wet snow down to about 1,000 feet, but valley locations stay rain. Snow, of course, in the Cascades. During the day tomorrow, some slightly warmer air moves in with that south wind. So snow level goes up to about 3,000 feet. But look at the white returning on the map for tomorrow night. If we have some snow down to low elevations, best chance of it happening is tomorrow night into Monday morning, and then perhaps snow showers scattered about during the day Monday, but they would be wet snow showers, probably not sticking. Now, elevation-wise, we're going to be talking a lot about that over the coming days. You can see the areas on white here, mainly the highest hills in the immediate metro area above 1,000 feet. But when I shade the areas in white above 500 feet, you can see the west hills there starting to get along Highway 26 here towards Gresham. And then closer into the metro area here, you can see the west hills, Chehalem Mountain, Mount Scott, all these areas above 500 feet. Otherwise, you're going to be mainly in the clear because these are the probabilities of sticking snow. Not much tonight, just about a 60% chance above 1,000 feet, but then tomorrow it all melts as warmer air moves in. Again, tomorrow night gets more interesting, perhaps a 90% chance of snow, sticking snow above 1,000 feet tomorrow night, and about 50-50 above 500 feet, and I'll put those chances the same for the day Monday. Even sea level, about a 10% chance, I think, of sticking snow. That's not a great chance, but the chance is there. Forecast details now. Busy night tonight with the high wind warning, and same story tomorrow. The snow level bouncing up and down a bit in the Coast Range as some cold air moves in. Then some warmer air as well. Willamette Valley temperatures in the 30s in the morning. Rainy and windy tomorrow. No threat of snow in the valley. South winds gusting to 35. Central and eastern Oregon, a winter storm warning for the gorge above 500 feet. And there'll be some rain and snow showers tomorrow. All snow showers tomorrow night. Huge storm in the Cascades. Winter storm warning. 1 to 2 feet of snow. Not good travel conditions up in the mountains tomorrow. Portland, rainy and windy. 38 in the morning. Still 40 at noon. 45, that's it for our high temperature. Cold air really moves in tomorrow night. We could have snow showers again tomorrow night. 30s in the morning west of town, 40s in the afternoon. East side temperatures also middle 40s for high temperatures with that gorge wind really blowing out of the east in the morning, but then ending during the afternoon, switching to a west wind. All right, Monday, cold showers, 39, that's it, and then windy and very cold for much of the week coming up. You can see lots of sunshine, though, so that'll be good news, even though it'll be cold. Stephanie is in tomorrow morning with the latest, beginning at 6.
Pointing fingers toward the final cut tonight as some businesses get called out on the internet. Why these finger pointers are taking the law into their own hands. A family can point the finger at a deer for leaving this huge mess, but they still have reason to be thankful. And don't start pointing fingers at security when you're stuck in line at the airport. How the weather could affect your holiday travel. Next on the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Providence Health Plan. Together. Health plans for individuals, families, employer groups, and people with Medicare.
That is lovely. Thank you. He went to Jared. He went to Jared.
You went to Jared?
Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry, has 5 times the selection of ordinary jewelry stores, from the classic to the contemporary, so you'll find the perfect gift.
Exquisite form, wonderful line.
Thank you. He went to Jared.
Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry.
Find the most comprehensive real estate listing in Oregon. Log on to KPTV.com and click on Northwest Real Estate. Plus, get special video tips for buyers and sellers. Brought to you by MaxwellSinclair.com of Prudential Northwest Properties.
Drivers in Northern Europe know a lot about driving in all kinds of weather. That's why they like the Nokian WR All-Weather Plus tire. It has a silica rubber compound, and its arrowhead tread pattern expels rain and snow while keeping the tread blocks in solid contact with the ground. That means the WR goes and stops better when compared to other leading tires. If you want the best all-weather tire, it's the Nokian WR, available today at Tire Factory. Trust what you love to Tire Factory.
A Craigslist poster says his baby son just lays in the closet and cries, and he wants to sell him. A disgusting hoax or child abuse? That's coming up in the final cut.
Don't forget soap.
Scrub, scrub, scrub.
Yes, Mom. Hey, guys. Hey. Got steel wool? Yeah. Good.
Looking for creative ways to save energy? Northwest Natural can help with web tools and tips on how to conserve gas and lower your monthly bill. So you don't have to go to extremes. Learn more at nwnatural.com.
New price cuts, huge savings. All Mervyn stores in Washington and Oregon are closing. Now save 40 to 70% on absolutely everything at every Mervyn's in Washington and Oregon. Take 40 to 70% off Mervyn's entire stock of fashions and accessories. 40 to 70% off everything for your home. Take advantage of spectacular savings on great gifts just in time for the holidays. Prices slashed again. 40 to 70% off everything. Nothing held back. Everything must go. But time is running out. You can't afford to miss this tremendous store closing sale. Right now, Washington and Oregon only at Mervyn's.
We're challenging Honda and Toyota head-on at the Hyundai Challenge Year-End Sales Event. It's your last, best, biggest chance to save up to $2,000 cash back on a lineup that offers you better quality, better fuel efficiency, a better warranty, and better year-end savings on models like the award-winning Sonata. We're up to the challenge, and you'll put up to $2,000 in your pocket, but only if you hurry. Get a new Sonata V6 with up to $2,000 cash back or 1.9% APR.
Stand by the final cut in 3, 2, 1, cue 'em.
The final cut starts with news from across America tonight, where in New York, a bachelor party came to a deadly end after police shot and killed the would-be groom as he was leaving a strip club. The shooting, which also left 2 other men hospitalized, drew angry protests from family members and community leaders today. Witnesses say as the alleged victims were driving away, they hit an unmarked police van filled with plainclothes officers. Authorities say police fired 50 rounds at their car. Police say they thought one of the men might have a gun. Well, the incident apparently stemmed from an undercover investigation inside the club. Investigators in Ohio are trying to figure out whether a shooting that killed an 11-year-old boy was an accident. Police say a 12-year-old boy shot the 11-year-old in the head with a small caliber handgun on Thanksgiving. The younger boy died a few hours later. Police originally arrested his uncle for failing to keep a gun away from children, but the charge has since been dropped. Now prosecutors say they may still take the case to a grand jury.
A truck flipped and caused quite a mess in Minnesota today. The semi flipped on a St. Paul bridge this morning, spilling chemicals all over the road. Take a look at that. Authorities had to shut the bridge down so crews could clean up the spill. The white mess you see is lime. It's a chemical produced when limestone is heated up. It's not clear when the bridge will reopen or if anyone was hurt. Police are investigating the cause of the crash. A shootout lands a police officer and a teenage suspect in the hospital in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Police were serving a search warrant to the boy who is suspected of raping a woman at gunpoint. They say the boy fired at the officer, hitting him in the bulletproof vest. The officer shot back, hitting the boy in the torso several times. The boy is in critical condition tonight. The officer is expected to recover. Cars, furniture, jobs, you can find just about anything on Craigslist, but babies? In San Diego, a posting appeared Thursday offering a free baby to a good home. Now San Diego police are trying to figure out if someone is really trying to give a baby away. Whoever posted the ad claims his ex-girlfriend had the baby a few weeks ago, but now the baby sits in his closet and cries. Craigslist has since pulled the ad.
A surprise visitor crashed into a Virginia family's home yesterday. The family says a deer broke through a window in the living room. A 7-month-old baby was just below that window. The deer just missed hitting the baby, but kept running and knocked over her grandfather. It then went into the kitchen and kicked an 8-year-old in the head. But get this, the little boy was actually wearing a football helmet at the time. No one was hurt, but the family says the unwelcome visitor left a lot of damage.
He was kicking, and he was kicking my son's legs, even to the point that he actually tore his blue jeans that he had on, and his arms were black from here to here.
Now, neighbors eventually tied the deer up and got it out of the house. Nearly a dozen people are hurt after a stairwell collapsed in eastern Tennessee. It happened at a rental cabin in the popular tourist town of Gatlinburg. Some 30 members of a family were all posing for a Thanksgiving Day picture on the stairs when the stairs gave way. 5 people, including a baby, had to be airlifted to the hospital, but everyone is expected to survive.
Folks in Minnesota may end up with a Charlie Brown Christmas tree next year if they're lucky. State officials say a drought is taking a toll on young trees that are still growing. Tree farm owners say this year's mature trees are healthy, but they were planted 3 years ago. Almost all the trees planted since then have died due to dry conditions. To keep next year's crop alive, many farmers are installing expensive irrigation systems, which has caused them to raise prices on this year's Christmas trees. A California parish is supporting American troops by sending prayer cards and iPods. About 2 weeks ago, the Cornerstone Fellowship in Livermore started raising almost $16,000 to arm our troops with MP3 players. iPod technology allows soldiers to use podcasts to receive messages and even church services from home. Troops say they appreciate the effort.
It makes me really happy to know that there's people out there that try and make part of their effort to help benefit someone else's lives, as people are out there trying to fight for theirs.
iPod manufacturer Apple is also helping the effort by providing free shipping and inscribing troops' names on each unit.
Retailers are dreaming of a green Christmas, and after this weekend, it looks like they'll be right on track. Shoppers were out in full force on Black Friday, according to a national research group that tracks sales at mall-based stores. Total sales for the day after Thanksgiving bonanza rose 6% from last year. That's almost $9 million. Economists say this could be a sign of a buoyant consumer spending, which will prop up the U.S. economy.
Some Americans are using the internet to tackle illegal immigration. The California-based website WeHireAliens.com puts pressure on businesses that hire undocumented workers. The website lists 2,400 companies in 47 states that allegedly employ illegal workers. People can report suspected violators anonymously. Critics say it encourages people to take the law into their own hands. But the site's creators say what they're doing is no different than a neighbor calling 911 after witnessing a crime. Right now, more than 30 Oregon businesses are listed on the website.
In the Middle East crisis tonight, the Palestinian government reached a ceasefire agreement with Israel today, just hours after airstrikes rained down on a minibus east of Gaza City. One Palestinian fighter died in that attack, and 3 others were hurt. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas told the Israeli Prime Minister today that Palestinian rebels will stop firing rockets at Israel from Gaza. Israel responded by pledging to halt attacks in the territory. The ceasefire went into effect just a few hours ago.
Well, as the holiday weekend wraps up tomorrow, many Americans will be hopping on planes headed for home. But the weather forecasted for tomorrow in Oregon could offer some challenges for air travelers. KPTV's Drew Jackson has the details you'll want to hear if you're traveling.
Yeah, Kevin, actually the worst of the travel weather, a lot like Wednesday here when this holiday started, is going to be right here in the Pacific Northwest. And if you have travel plans by air beyond the Northwest, it actually looks pretty good. Come on over here. You can see the map, and you can see that aside from the Northwest, so much of the United States is really going to be in the clear. So that's great news if you're traveling all the way to the East Coast of the United States. Looking good. There just could be a few rain showers in the mid-section of the country, but nothing that would trip up the flights or the airports or anything like that. But again, here in the Pacific Northwest and Northern California, that's where the issues will be, with some rain, some gusty winds, and a lot of snow, especially over the Cascade Passes. And if you're going to be in the car, watch out for the Columbia Gorge tomorrow morning with some accumulating snow there. Should be rain in the afternoon. Cascade Passes, kind of a mess all day long with a lot of heavy snow. So that's the situation if you're traveling both around the country and also here locally. Kevin and Hillary, back to you.
Yeah, we are really getting the brunt of it. Drew, thank you. If you're dreading long lines and chaos at the airports this holiday season, there might be a way around it. The registered travel program started after the 9/11 attacks, but it may be expanding. Right now, passengers pay about $100 a year to have the TSA do a background check on them ahead of time. Those passengers carry a smart card, which lets them get whisked through security. But the cost could be dropping. The TSA now says it can do those background checks for only $28. The company operating the system now plans to expand to Cincinnati, Indianapolis, San Jose, and the British Airways terminal at New York's JFK.
Well, it's not the Da Vinci Code or Antiques Roadshow, but one biology professor has found a way to put a date on when some masterpieces were made. And these dates can solve some mysteries of priceless works of art.
They are the work of masters. But when were they created? Biologist Blair Hedges is trying to answer this question. He found out by studying different editions of the same print. He could pinpoint the date of previously updated works. He calls this the print clock method.
It measures the change in the wood and the metal used to make the prints.
Early craftsmen used hand-cranked printing presses with the letters carved into wooden blocks or copper plates.
What we have here are 2 woodblock prints and 2 copperplate prints.
To determine the date of old prints made from wood blocks, Hedges scans digital photos into his computer and uses a digital analysis software program to count the number of breaks in the lines. For prints made with copper plates, he looks at the level of fading in the lines. With each edition of the same book or print, the ink appears lighter. Here, the computer program counts the number of pixels from the scanned digital photo.
Every different edition after the original one will have more and more white pixels.
Hedges found the changes in the prints were clock-like because the breaks in the wood and thinning of the copper occurred evenly over time.
People want to know when things happened. For example, when a piece of art was created, when an idea was thought of, when a discovery was made.
The print clock method may help historians fill in those blanks. Hillary Hutchison, the 10 o'clock news.
And print experts often use a printer's watermark on the paper to place a date on previously undated works. Dr. Hedges says the watermark method is not as accurate as the print clock method because it dates the paper, not the print.
In the Hollywood Buzz tonight, Michael Richards may have to give an expensive apology for his racist rant. The two men Richards insulted during his comedy act want a personal apology and maybe even money. Their attorney, Gloria Allred, says Richards should apologize and let a judge decide if Richards should pay. She says the men were ordering drinks when Richards started yelling at them for interrupting his act. When someone in the group said he wasn't funny, Richards repeatedly yelled racist remarks at them. Richards' publicist says the comedian wants to apologize and see what happens from there. Also, according to the Associated Press tonight, Richards plans on appearing on Jesse Jackson's radio show to answer questions as well. And that is Fox 12's Final Cut for tonight.
I'm Matt Smith. Ahead in sports, it's high school football Saturday. A couple local teams putting it all on the line in the state playoffs, plus thousands of teddy bears streaming down from the stands. It's the most visual game of the year for the Winterhawks.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local. Hey, parents, when the weather looks like this, rely on us for current school closures and delays. Just look for your kid's school at the bottom of the screen. That crawl you see is constantly being updated. Want to know if you'll need to change plans for your kids? Watch Good Day Oregon, mornings on Fox 12, when first live local really counts.
Free-spirited, living life in high gear, and never ever holding back. That's you and that's Chevy. Now every 2007 SUV and light-duty truck comes with the GM 100,000-mile warranty. Buy or lease an eligible Chevy SUV or Silverado and receive 2 season passes to Mount Bachelor valued at almost $2,000. Qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on this 07 Tahoe 1LT 4x4 for around $399 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details. See your Northwest Chevy dealer today.
Mattress World's having a free mattress sale.
Purchase Select, Sealy, Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, or Stearns & Foster and get a premium guest bed absolutely free.
Purchase a luxury mattress set and get a second set worth $500 absolutely free.
No interest, no payments for 1 full year and free delivery.
Sale ends November 30th.
Mattress World's hard-to-find locations will save you money.
It's not too late to sleep like a baby. Mattress World.
We can't beat any price on any comparable mattress, and the mattress is free.
In the Blazers-Kings game, a double-digit lead by the second quarter, but was that a good thing or bad thing for the Blazers? The answer just ahead on the 10 o'clock news.
If you live for sports, outdoor fun, action, and adventure, you're living in the right place because you'll find all the gear you need at G.I. Joe's Sports, Outdoor, and More, a store dedicated to helping you get up, get out there, and enjoy your favorite season. Joe's has been outfitting the Northwest since 1952 with the good stuff, the best gear from the best makers. If you love sports and the great outdoors, you're going to like G.I. Joe's, gear for your favorite season.
Late night Saturday, Mad celebrates the biggest shopping day of the year.
I think I killed a bunch of people.
Mad TV, tonight at 11 on Fox 12 Oregon.
This news segment on Fox 12 Oregon is brought to you by Lexus.
Morning.
Someone knows what they're getting this year.
Someone certainly does.
Someone's pretty happy about it, too.
Someone certainly is.
Someone certainly is.
It's that time of year again when you'll find exceptional values on your favorite Lexus vehicles.
Someone's gonna go straighten up the garage.
Someone already did.
See Lexus of Portland.
Welcome back. Right on the heels of the Ducks Civil War loss tonight, more bad news for the University of Oregon. This time, it's athletic director Bill Moose set to resign. This according to the Eugene Register-Guard. With 12 years under his belt, Moose has the second longest tenure of any University of Oregon AD. He's led the university through its most prosperous years athletically. Sources say Moose is resigning for personal reasons, depending on who you talk to. A big blow tonight for the Ducks. Well, for Blazers fans, it was the kind of night you're happy your team was playing in another city because you hate to pay good money and see what we saw tonight in Sacramento. Blazers taking on the Kings. Ime Udoka came out firing for Portland in the first half, scored 11 points, hitting 5 of 7 shots. Zach Randolph also putting up his numbers, 24 points, 8 rebounds for Zebo, but the Kings blew it open in the second quarter. Mike Bibby for 3. Check out this series right here, followed by Kevin Martin, 3 of his 27 points. Then Sharif Abdur-Rahim, the former Blazer, going right down the lane. Blazers down by 22 at halftime, and they fall tonight 105-85. Well, we're heading down the final stretch in high school football. Today, both Wilsonville and Sherwood hit the field in the 5A quarterfinals. Sunny day in McMinnville, where Wilsonville was taking on Dallas at Linfield College. In the third quarter, Wilsonville led 15-7. This drive set up by a Wildcats interception, and Jake Carlson puts it in the end zone. Wilsonville up 22-7. More Wildcats offense later in the third. Tyler Reeves to Jesse Staub. Check out the nice move by Staub. He takes it all the way down to the 2-yard line. 35-yard pickup. That led to the short touchdown plunge here by Jake Carlson. Wildcats extend their lead, and that would do it. The final today, Wilsonville beating Dallas 29-13. At Sherwood High, the Bowmen hosting Corvallis in the first half. Sherwood getting the 4-yard touchdown run from Travis Lutz. That made the score 7-6. Bowman down by 1. But Corvallis wastes no time answering back. Drew Hubble to Jordan Fred, and Fred is gone. 77-yard touchdown to put Corvallis up 14-6, and Corvallis wins big over Sherwood 34-13. In the 2A quarterfinals, Portland Christian hit the road to play Cascade Christian. Portland Christian perfect 11-0 entering this game. Here in the third quarter, Sean Evans with the 20-yard touchdown to put the Royals up 9-0, but it was all Cascade after that. Check out Alex Crawford. Down the far sideline, shakes 2 defenders, gone. Cascade Christian closing the game with 28 unanswered points to hand Portland Christian its first loss of the year. Doesn't matter if you like sports or not, this is the best hockey night of the year in Portland. The Winterhawks holding their annual teddy bear toss. Fans bringing teddy bears to the game, and when the first goal is scored, they throw those bears on the ice. Well, there were no goals until overtime, but Kyle Bailey comes through, puts it in, and let the Bears fly. Last year, they had 10,000, in excess of 10,000 Bears hit the ice. Tonight, another respectable night. The game was so late, no numbers in for Bear totals, but certainly a great night as the Winterhawks win an OT and the Bears were flying. Also tonight, USC rolled past Notre Dame 44-24, and Arizona State beat Arizona 28-14.
They have helmets and all that padding on.
You got it. You
I
got
think
some
I
big
saw one
bears.
of those big, those huge.
Clobber
cool.
guy.
All right.
Yeah,
Matt,
thanks, Matt.
Quick last check on weather.
Yeah, mess over the Cascades, 1 to 2 feet of snow tomorrow. That's a problem for those of you traveling. The gorge could be messy tomorrow morning with some snow as well, and then low snow levels after that.
All right, that's it for us tonight. Don't forget to watch Good Day Oregon Sunday starting at 6.
Good night.
Alex Smith and the Niners, Mark Bulger and the Rams. Sunday at 10 on Fox 12 Oregon.
A Family Guy wedding turns sour.
Something to drink?
Do you have High C Tropical Punch?
And it begins.
Sunday at 9 on Fox 12 Oregon.
I've owned a couple Toyotas, and they're good at a lot of things. But you know the one thing they've never done? Disappoint me. Take the Toyota Tacoma. It's famous for being almost indestructible. It's the #1 selling compact truck in America. And now get 4.9% APR financing for 60 months on Tacoma. A great deal on a truck that never lets you down. It's easy to be loyal to a brand that returns the favor. Toyota, a smart way to keep moving forward.
I wish we had a big house.
Well, I wish we had an affordable house.
Ours?
Find your perfect place. It's easy with RE/MAX. RE/MAX agents have the experience you can count on to make your dreams a reality. Nobody sells more real estate than RE/MAX.
Michael's Fine Furniture is having a huge fall clearance sale. Because our showroom is bulging at the seams means you'll save from 15 to 70% on quality furniture for every room in your home. Save on all living room, dining, and bedroom groups. Enjoy low prices and interest-free financing with up to 48 months to pay. So hurry into Michael's Fine Furniture and save today. This sale must end Sunday. Michael's Fine Furniture in Gresham, 1 block south of 84 on 181st Avenue, exit 13, 15 minutes from downtown and Vancouver.
At Leif's, I repair vehicles back to pre-loss condition with factory parts and a lifetime warranty without charging you extra. That's my promise.
Turn left. Turn clockwise. Turn left at intersection. Destination ahead.
McKinney Stainmaster Ultralife carpet and get one room or the whole house installed for just $99.
They make it so easy.
And our low price guarantee. Dial 503 Carpets.